Good morning. I'm Susan McConnell from Ingram, representing Two Rivers Distribution, Ingram Publisher Services, and Publishers Group West. I sure do miss being with you all and the spontaneous and fun repartee with my publisher colleagues that we have live and in person. I hope that you, your families, and bookseller colleagues are all well during these unusual times. So let's begin with Two Rivers. There are 10 backlist titles in the Baby's Big World board book series from the Peterson's imprint BES. The 3 new additions this fall are economics, geography, and geometry. Geometry terms are presented in bright colors for easy identification, and adorable babies demonstrate important concepts like angles, shapes, and volume. Teddy bears are used to explain supply and demand in economics. Geography includes colorful maps, animals, and simple text introduces baby to their big world through opposites like hot and cold and night and day. At $8.99, these make great holiday gifts, and they ship in October. Pictured are 3 titles released earlier this year that you may have missed. Young, Fearless, Awesome. 25 Young People Who Changed the World, also published by BES, includes short bios of well-known newsmakers like Greta Thunberg and Malala Yousafzai, as well as civil rights activist Claudette Colvin, Olympic gold medalist archer Kim Soo-young, and Felix Finkbinder, who has planted over 1 trillion trees worldwide. The format is perfect for reluctant readers, with graphic illustrations, introductions, bios, and text arranged for dipping into or reading at 1 or 2 sittings. A good companion read with the Rad series by Kate Schatz. Hardcover $16.99, shipping in October. On to Ingram Publisher Services. She Rides Like the Wind is the story of extraordinary and courageous Italian cyclist Alfonsina Strada. Called the Devil in a Dress and Queen of Pedals, that's Pedals, she resisted conformity, winning her first race at 13 and going on to make headlines in 1924 as the first woman to compete in the prestigious Giro d'Italia bike race. International award-winning illustrator and author Joan Negrescolor has brightly and boldly brought Alfonsina's journey to life, beginning with her childhood in the Italian province of Emilia-Romagna, discovering her love of cycling, her longing for freedom, and the journey through her impressive career, which lasted 26 years. Published by Little Gestalten, it shipped last month, $19.95. Wildlife on Paper, published by West Margin, which is owned by Ingram, full disclosure, and based in Berkeley. Award-winning Indian visual artist Kunal Kundu takes us on a journey around the world through the oceans, forests, deserts, and more to learn about the diversity of these endangered animals and their incredible characteristics. Look at his amazing crumpled paper art. He shapes the paper and then superimposes the animals on digital environments. This is not just for children, but a perfect holiday gift book for anyone on your list at $18.99. Kundu creates his sculptures sourced from eco-friendly paper companies that plant a tree for every ream of paper sold. Next up, Mary, The Adventures of Mary Shelley's great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter, published by 6 Foot Press. This is a young adult graphic novel, $18.99, 144 pages, illustrated in full color by Yishan Liu, a manga artist. Author Bria Grant is an actress, filmmaker, writer, and director. Both have impressive resumes. This has gotten so many great reviews on Edelweiss that I am sharing Emma Flattery from Davidson, North Carolina's peer review. An imaginative take on finding out who you really are and standing up to external pressure to behave a certain way. I love the idea that Mary Shelley sparked a line of creative literary women and also got deeply identified with the present-day Mary struggle to define herself in light of this legacy. The monster element made this graphic novel even more fun. If you're looking for a spooky yet heartwarming book, To get you in the mood for fall, I'd highly recommend picking up a copy of Mary when it comes out in October. I couldn't have said it better. I also noticed in Peer Shelves that Jocelyn from Bookshop Santa Cruz is anticipating Mary. She's coming on October 6th. On to PGW. While We Can't Hug is the perfect picture book for these days of social distancing from Faber and Faber, written by Ian McLaughlin and illustrated by Polly Dunbar. This is the second book in the Hedgehog and Tortoise story series. The first was The Hug, an indie favorite. Best friends Hedgehog and Tortoise want to give each other a great big hug, but they aren't allowed to touch. They discover other ways that you can show someone that you love them. The two friends wave to each other, blow kisses, sing songs, dance around and write letters, and even though they can't hug and they can't touch, they both know that they are loved. This shipped in August and is $15.95. Animals Brag About Their Bottoms is written and illustrated by Maki Sato, using traditional Japanese art techniques. Published by Greystone Kids, $16.95, coming the end of this month. This bum bragging contest between bears, giraffes, rabbits, monkeys, sheep, and more is a funny and clever way to engage children in identifying the various animals. Susie Ho from Hicklebees posted this on Edelweiss. This book is hysterical. I love it. A celebration of butts in their infinite variety. Thank you, Susie. Cone Cat by Sarah Howden, illustrated by Carmen Mock, from Al Kids at $17.95, is a PGW in-house favorite. Jeremy wakes up at the vet's with a giant cone around his head. In a momentary existential crisis, he resigns himself to his new role as clumsy, smelly Cone Cat. That is, until the cone becomes instrumental in lapping up the last few bites of cereal on the breakfast table, as well as hunting spiders with ease, collecting stuffing from the couch, and disguising himself as a bowl to steal a scoop of ice cream at a birthday party. When the cone is removed the next day, Jeremy starts to miss it. Will anything compare with his glory days as Cone Cat? This hilarious picture book has a message about adapting in a time when we are all struggling with change. Available now. The Paper Boat, also from Al Kids, is a wordless picture book by Thal Lamb. Thal also wrote an illustrated wallpaper, Skunk on a String, and My Dad Looks Like My Cat. A Kirkus Review's most anticipated picture book of fall 2020, The Paper Boat also received starred reviews from Kirkus, Booklist, and SLJ. Thal's heartfelt immigration story is inspired by her family's refugee journey from Vietnam to Canada. Her signature collage art intertwines her personal experience with an ant colony's parallel narrative. $17.95 and shipping this month. I briefly wanted to mention Susie Esterhaus's memoir, My Wild Life, Adventures of a Wildlife Photographer, coming next month. Susie lives in Petaluma when she's not traveling the world, capturing animals in their natural habitats with her camera. Susie's previous titles include Sea Otter Rescue, Moto and Me, and Baby Animals Moving. I love this cover shot of meerkats using Susie to block the wind. Many of you know Madeline Dunphy, publisher of Oakland-based Web of Life children's books. Pika Country, Climate Change at the Top of the World, is out today. These amazing little mountain-dwelling mammals are found in Asia and North America. Increasing temperatures have forced pika populations to migrate to a higher and higher elevation. Pretty soon, they won't be able to get any higher. Their behavior is a bellwether of climate change. It's Nice to Be a Pika is a backlist board book from Heyday Books in Berkeley, which also features this important little creature. Last but not least, reminders of some excellent young adult series. The third book in the best-selling Mirror Visitor Quartet, The Memory of Babel by Christelle Davos, has just shipped. Ophelia, the mirror-traveling heroine, finds herself on the Ark of Babel, guarding a secret that may provide a key both to the past and the future. From the quote, New York Times, Ophelia is the tiny-voiced powerhouse you can't take your eyes off of. From Europa Editions, publishers of Elena Ferrante's My Brilliant Friend and the Lying Life Adults. The next book in the #1 New York Times bestselling series, created by the late, great Kobe Bryant and written by Ivy Clare, is Apoka, The River of Sand. Set in an alternative classical world dominated by sports and a magical power called Grana, Apoka is the story of two children, the lowly born Rovi and the crown princess Pratia, who uncover the battle, terrible evil, and discover their inner strength along the way. Readers of the first book will be eager to find out the next steps in Pratia and Rovi's journey. Like the first book, it's a beautiful package at $16.99, coming in December. Thank you so much for listening, and I'm wishing you all a successful and healthy fall season.